Hello students, welcome at the Food for Health and Safety Challenge. You have seen me before in the kickoff movie clip at the start of the challenge. But today I will tell you a little bit more about myself, who am I, and give you some additional guidance about the challenge. But first I will start to introduce myself. My name is Maarten Gortworst and I'm Major working at the Ministry of Defense, and I work in the department where we develop the armed forces, where we introduce new concepts and where we develop new existing concepts. And the concept consists of equipment, personnel, and doctrine. We develop doctrine. And equipment is our main focus. It's my main focus. And you can think of examples like submarines, fighter jets, armored personnel carriers, but also the mobile field kitchen, where we will be talking about today. On the left, you see the image. At the bottom, you see Veribus Unitus, which means together we are strong. And this refers to sea, land, and air that comes together, and together they are strong. And to make sure they will remain strong, we need to develop them constantly. And that's what we do by developing the armed forces. My role is, in this case, to be the project manager of the replacement of the mobile field kitchens. It's one of my projects, and under my supervision, together with my project team, in a combination of specialists and generalists, we write the project plan from an operational point of view, mainly. And at the end, when that is done, I will task our defense material organization so can do the actual procurement of those mobile field kitchens. More about myself. You see me being a happy daddy of two sweet girls. And me on the right side, on the edge of a cliff, is also kind of typically for me, living on the edge a little bit, but without running too much risks. That is also part of being a soldier. And on the left side, you see a couple of soldiers hidden and hard to spot, and that is what I am. I am a reconnaissance guy by trade. I've been for many years in reconnaissance units, in intelligence units, and classically you would say we sneak upon the enemy and to see what he is doing. Nowadays we do it a bit different, of course. We use a lot of sensors and techniques, but still our eye is one of our best sensors. Even nowadays, it's a combination of many things. At the bottom, you see the Fennec. That is our reconnaissance vehicle, a very well-developed vehicle that is still in use at the moment. And as said, I've been in many reconnaissance units, and I think my best memory is being a commander of more than 100 reconnaissance guys and girls for a couple of years. And with them, part of them, I've been on mission, which I will come back to on the next slide. On the very top, you will see me in a ceremonial outfit because I'm also the regimental major of our reconnaissance regiment. And this ceremonial job is to stimulate the esprit de corps. So it's important for us to feel like we are in a group, we're in a team. And on this next slide, you see my missions. I think it's interesting to just go shortly over them. At the bottom, you see two pictures of me being in Afghanistan on two separate missions. On the right-hand side, together with my friends, you see me as an intelligence officer, dressed up like an Afghan, and I think that is one of the important things to identify yourself being an Afghan, to make sure you understand them as much as possible, so you can give them the right feeling, and also to assess what they just tell you, because they think in a different way as an Afghan as we do in the Netherlands or in the Western world. So that was an interesting job. On the left-hand side, with all those kids around me, that was on my mission where I was training the Afghan army. It started with, you know, a bunch of soldiers not taking their responsibilities or having any structure, and after a couple of months, and due to their motivation to become a professional army, as much as possible a professional army, I would say, in a couple of months, we had a real good cooperation. We had a tough couple of months. We lost people got injured physically and mentally, but it was the cooperation got stronger and stronger by that. On the top right hand side, you see me on the back of one of our Navy vessels. We were patrolling along the coast of Somalia, hunting pirates that were active in that period. And it was very interesting as an army guy to be on board for 5 months, and be on sea for 5 months, be sailing for 5 months, and working together with Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force in an international environment. And on top, on the left-hand side, you see the United Nations flag waving. I was in Syria for 1 year, a very interesting period as well, because the first 6 months it was all calm and quiet, and after 6 months the Arabic Spring started, so the whole country changed as it is now. So interesting for an army guy, because normally we step in to a country where there is already a conflict going on, and now in this case I saw the whole conflict starting up. Very interesting. And 4 missions that made me as an officer, that made me as a soldier, and that made me as a person. And on this slide, it's not so much about me anymore. It's about the current mobile soup kitchen that we use today. You see, it looks very simple on the outside. A foldable sea container where the operators can produce large numbers of pre-packed meals in steam ovens. And that's important because they have little time to produce a lot. But you see those meals on the right-hand side, on the bottom, on the image, and you can see that it doesn't look that appealing, and I can tell you it doesn't taste that great. So there's a lot of improvement for you guys to think of in the concept you will develop. And I can tell you, I have been eating hundreds, or I think even thousands of those in all my exercises on my missions. There is a lot to improve. So as you heard in the overview I gave about myself, I am an operational guy. I have no logistical background. The only thing is that I have eaten a lot of those meals, and that is my experience with the mobile food kitchen, because all those meals have been produced by those kitchens. So there's not a lot of specific knowledge required to think of the replacement of a mobile food kitchen. Of course, you need specialists in your team. In my team, I need specialists, but to come up with concepts, to have free thought on what it should be for the future, everybody can do it. Just use your imagination, use your creativity, some effective thoughts, and do research. And on this last slide, I would give you some additional guidance that you should take into account when thinking of a new concept for the mobile food kitchen. So in addition to the video I already presented to you, I gave you guidance. So this is my additional guidance, that the concept should generate food for large numbers of soldiers in little time with few operators. You have large groups of soldiers in the fields. They need to eat fast. They have not a lot of time. So it should be ready in a short period of time. It should be produced quickly. We don't have a lot of operators. So the concept should be used by as little personnel as possible, something to really think about. The other thing is that the industry wherever the industry is located worldwide, should be able to produce the concept. It needs to be, it should be produced and procured. And I want to stimulate you to think of innovative and new techniques that are or become available on a short or a longer notice to integrate that in your concept. But also it must be affordable. We have a limited amount of money at the defense organization. So the cheaper it is, the better. And it should require little maintenance. We have not a lot of people, we have not a lot of time in the field, so it should require little maintenance. We should use it as much as possible. Little downtime is important for us. So that is the additional guidance. Then 3 things to think of. First thing is, I'm not per se looking for the replacement of the mobile field kitchen. I'm looking for a concept, and that concept should feed soldiers under operational circumstances with all the guidance I just gave. That should not per se be just a little bit better mobile field kitchen. Think broad. But the other thing is look into what the civil sector is using, is producing, what kind of techniques they use. They're probably ahead of us because our concept is an old one. But there are also other countries and other armies in other countries that might give you some good thoughts, hints, or ideas. Use it to your benefit and make a split. What possibilities do you see on the short term? Let's say within a year, what is possible? What concept is most feasible? And what concept is possible and feasible on the longer term? Let's say 20 years. So also we make a split here in my project. We will procure a new mobile food kitchen or a concept on the short term, and we already start thinking about the replacement of the one we will buy, we will procure. So we do 2 things at the same time, and I challenge you to do that as well. So I will conclude. I've introduced myself. Hopefully you have a little bit better understanding who I am. Hopefully we will sometime meet physically so we can discuss a little bit more. But nowadays, with all these COVID restrictions, it's quite hard. So that's why we put this on tape. Look back on the introduction video, combine it with this video, think about the guidance I gave you and the way you can think of and come up with solutions. And of course, use your imagination, use your creativity for the best solution. I'm looking forward to the results. I'm looking forward to discuss with you. I will see you in the near future. Thank you very much and all the best. Good luck.